Hello, I'm Annette Young and welcome to the 51%, a show about women reshaping our world. Coming up, how a French government inquiry has uncovered systemic judicial failures in investigating a man who's now accused of the murder of an 11-year-old schoolgirl. Also, pregnant women in India are now entitled to 26 weeks of fully paid maternity leave. But in a society which still has very traditional values, how many actually return to work after childbirth? And take note, greeting card companies. Divorce parties are now catching on here in France as people celebrate the end of one chapter before beginning another. But we begin in France, where the country has been shaken by the recent murder of 11-year-old schoolgirl lyhanna in the southwest. Mass protests erupted after it emerged the main suspect had twice previously been formally accused of raping a child, with the investigations either being dropped or stalled. In response, Prime Minister Sébastien Lecornu announced a comprehensive bill to combat gender-based and sexual violence, which will be presented to Parliament later this year. In the meantime, the government has also held its own inquiry into the failures which may have contributed to the mishandling of Lyhanna's case. Catherine Viette has more.
The French justice system is under stark scrutiny in the wake of 11-year-old Lyhanna's death. A damning report has exposed serious investigative failures regarding an earlier complaint about the alleged suspect. Filed in August 2025, it accused Jérôme Barella of what it described as around 50 rapes of an 11-year-old girl named Rosa.
The criminal procedure was treated as an ordinary procedure, or, at the very least, was not treated as a priority procedure. The report highlights an accumulation of wasted time and a lack of procedural follow-up.
The complaint was initially received by the Toulouse court, which transferred the case to Auch by regular post. Despite the seriousness of the allegations, no phone call or email was sent to flag the case. Instead, the complaint was placed in a stack of non-priority files where it sat for 23 days before being registered. It was only after Rosa's mother called demanding answers that the case was brought forward. A prosecutor in Auch then assigned the investigation to the gendarmerie, France's national military and police force outside major cities, but failed to mark it as urgent. The complaint, known as a plainte in French, was then sent to the wrong unit before reaching the correct one, causing a further 44-day delay. During that time, the suspect was neither questioned by investigators nor subjected to any investigative measures. While the report points to individual failures, prosecutor representatives argue that the justice system is overwhelmed.
France is only now discovering this, but the justice system has been dealing with it for years. We're facing a mass litigation. 29,000 people per year are implicated in these cases of sexual violence against minors.
People are continuing to take to the streets across the country.
We need to go much further in addressing the collective responsibility that all of us share.
At the protests in Toulouse, Rosa's mother declined to speak.
To India, where the Supreme Court has declared maternity leave as a fundamental right for all working women. Pregnant women are now entitled to 26 weeks of fully paid maternity leave, yet cultural expectations still make it extremely challenging for many to rejoin the workforce after childbirth, as our team on the ground report.
For 34-year-old Harleen Kaur, life revolves around her two sons. Her day starts and ends with them. In 2020, Harleen was 3 months pregnant with her first son and working in hospital administration. When the pandemic hit, working from home was not an option. Her family advised her to quit. Since then, she has been a homemaker. In a family of 5, including her husband, father-in-law and sons, she is responsible for taking care of everyone.
At 8 a.m, I drop the older one off at school. After that, I wake the younger one up, prepare milk for him, get him ready. All this goes on until midnight. I prefer to finish everything earlier, but I can't manage it.
Working women in India have the right to 6 months of paid maternity leave. It is one of the most progressive policies in the world, but in this patriarchal society, women are expected to take on a majority of caregiving responsibilities, hindering their ability to return to work.
I do 60 to 70% of the childcare because my husband comes home in the evening. Initially, I thought it was a big mistake because I wanted to continue working and take care of the kids.
Although Harleen says her priority now is her children, she admits missing her work life.
I feel that I've been isolated and I hesitate to message colleagues because I don't want them to feel like I'm bothering them. Before, when I was working, I used to go out with friends, grab a coffee after work. Now I'm not able to do that because I feel I'd have to take my kids along.
Harleen's story mirrors the challenges faced by millions of professional women across the country. According to a report by Ashoka University, 73% of women leave their jobs after childbirth because of a lack of support. In recent years, many Indian companies have introduced policies to help women resume work after childbirth, as in the case of Priya Kapoor. Priya works as a human resource manager at a tech consulting company. Thanks to her company's on-campus daycare facility, she can send both her children there and focus on her work.
It's very helpful because I know it's a home-like environment there. I can come in any point in time, meet the child. If the child is not well, it's a little cranky, I can come, step in, provide support and go back.
Mothers like Priya can opt for a hybrid work model such as working from home 3 days a week and being able to leave after clocking 5 office hours. These policies have been a lifeline for her despite underlying prejudices.
Biases are on certain points as well that will she be able to give the same amount of time that she was doing earlier. So for anybody taking break, men or women, they have this apprehension. If you come back, will the opposition be given to anybody else?
Priya is among the more than 35 million women in India's organized sector. But over 90% of working women are engaged in informal jobs such as agriculture and construction without social security. It is a common sight in big cities across India to see men and women working at construction sites with their young children beside them. They move wherever contractors find work for them. This group of laborers has just been told there's work available at another location. Within seconds, they pack up to leave. We follow them as they carry the pram in tow. Outside a mall, Kaushalya and her husband have been asked to make pavement. They have no choice than to bring their 12-year-old daughter and 7-month-old son on the side. Kaushalya earns €3 daily wage, supplementing her husband's 5, a vital income for families living on the margins.
Sometimes I even make him sleep on the road if I don't have the pram. Sometimes we don't even get any space for the child. Then the baby stays in the lap of my elder daughter. She takes care of the baby while we work. Whether it's cold, hot, or raining, however harsh the weather, we continue to work in all circumstances and bring our children along.
In a poor neighborhood of Nebsarai in New Delhi, men earn up to €100 a month, mostly as street vendors, while women earn around 60 as domestic help, like Kirti Devi, who has 4 children. Her youngest attends this nursery, run by an NGO, for €1 a month. Thanks to the center hosting 70 children, more women like Kirti are able to work.
It's difficult to bear the expenses of a family with children in a city. It's hard to run a household on just one person's income. It's only possible when both the husband and wife earn.
NGO Secretary Reena Banerjee says Delhi needs at least 20,000 nurseries like this one, far more than the government's plan to open just 500 for underprivileged children.
Creches like ours should be available on every street for children from low-income families so that they can grow in a healthy environment. A creche is not just about the empowerment of children, it also empowers women and at the same time contributes to improving the country's GDP. That's why it is very important to have creches.
Last year, the Supreme Court of India ruled that maternity leave is a fundamental right, not a privilege. But without a deeper cultural shift, women will continue to carry the double burden of work and care.
And finally, we're used to celebrating weddings and birthdays, but now some are throwing divorce parties. The trend began in the US and is now catching on here in France. It's seen as a symbolic way to close a chapter before starting the next, as Aurore Dupuis explains.
This isn't a typical night out with friends.
Cheers to me.
Happy divorce. Good riddance.
Alex, 27, is celebrating her divorce in Paris with her former wedding witnesses.
I'm divorced.
Everything's planned to help her cope.
It's a symbolic gift. It was about time you woke up.
I was married for 5 years. I don't want to erase it all, but I don't want to stay stuck either. There's enough crying. I'm moving on.
Divorce parties first emerged in the US and are now gaining momentum in France.
Every chapter deserves to be celebrated. Births, deaths, weddings, and divorces too. Why not?
On social media, some proudly embrace their breakups, burning their wedding dresses or treating themselves to a divorce cake to sweeten the split-up. For event planners, the trend is bringing in extra cash. David organises activities for divorce parties. Amongst his clients, Alex and her friends, who went for a dance class at €115.
When we started 3 years ago, we had one divorce party a month. Now it's around 10 a week, so that's 40 every month.
On average, his customers spend more than €500 on an action-packed weekend with plenty of treats on offer. A just divorced sash for €5 or a divorce cake for €98.
Make some noise for the divorcees.
A profitable business for event planners and for jewelers too. 3 years after her divorce,
Happy to be here.
this client decided to redesign her old engagement ring.
Ready.
She's discovering the finished piece today. Transforming a ring costs at least €1,000, a booming market as nearly 1 in 2 marriages ends in divorce.
The more engagement rings there are, the more divorce rings too. Demand is rising. It's not taboo anymore.
Divorce parties could soon become as common as bachelor parties celebrated by most couples before getting married.
And that's it for this show. So until our next one, bye for now.